Number 6. Number 6 in the homework on 4.1. Is this a test question? Yes. This is a test question, so make sure you can do it. Now, I'm going to turn on my handy-dandy whiteboard here because we're going to use some deduction. Now, there's 2 of these problems. I want everybody to listen to this. There's 2 of these answers that you can exclude right from the get-go. Somebody tell me which ones they are.
A.
Well, I was looking at B. Why can I get rid of B first?
I thought
B is positive.
Because B is positive.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now, what other one can I get rid of? And I will tell you that alpha, Charlie, and delta, they are all negative slopes. So,
really?
Huh?
I said, really? How is D negative? It looked like you can go up.
See, left to right. Left to right. Remember, you always, when you're talking about slope, which way do we read?
Left to right.
Left to right. So you put your car on the left-hand side. And what's that little car doing? Going uphill.
Uphill.
Car on the left-hand side. What is that car doing?
Driving
downhill. You'd be surprised on how many students, they don't do that. They read from right to left. All of a sudden, they're from Saudi Arabia, and they read from right to left. I don't understand it. I really don't. You study 12 years of high school, and you read from left to right. And I'm talking about all math students. I'm not talking about anybody in here. They start to read from right to left. I don't understand it. All right. So this is left. This is a negative slope. This is a negative slope, and this is a negative slope. There's one more that you can eliminate just by what I've taught you and what the book has in it in your reading in 4.1 and 4.2.
I'd say C.
Why? C is what you call a blank correlation. What is it? Starts with a P.
Positive.
No, perfect. Because they're all in what? That's all right.
In a straight line.
They're all in line. So now you've dwindled it down to a 50-50. You got to lay off that stuff, Miss Dennis. You got to lay off it.
I can't.
That's bad. That's real bad. When you put it in a black bottle, that's like a red Solo cup. All right. I would say it's A because it's together. This is a pretty high, forget the negative, because we all figured out it's a negative slope. 0.76 is almost 0.8. So that means the dots are really put together well. So which one is put together well, alpha or delta?
Alpha.
Alpha. So alpha is probably your answer. Let's look and see. Ding! What is this one? This one is about 0.3. Why? Because they're all apart. This is all together. The closer you get to 1 and -1, the more in line they're going to be. This is -1 right here. Now, where is this? In your book, I showed you, it's in the slides, I showed you the 5 or 6 graphs. Let me go to it. Let me pull it up. Hold on. And if I didn't show it to you, then excuse me, I thought I showed it to you. Okay, here's one set of, no, that's chapter 5. Hold on. Let me pull up chapter 4. Where is, okay, I don't have what you call it pulled up. But somebody look in 4.1 and 4.2, there's like 6 graphs, and there's one that goes up and one goes down. One is a horizontal line, one is a parabola, and the other one is like a cubic function. And they've got a bunch of dots. Those are the ones that I told you to make sure you knew for the test, because that was a test question. Now I'm going to go pull up the chapter 4 material that I went over last week or last time we met, 4.1, and or the notes, what do you call them, the PowerPoints, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, because I did tell you it was a test question.
Is it on page 183
Probably.
and 182?
Hold on and let me pull up 4.1 and we'll go from there. Okay, here's chapter 4. And there it is. Is that what it looks like, Miss Dennis?
Mm,
I mean,
yeah.
okay, what page is it on?
It's on page 182 and 183.
182 and 183. There's your perfect positive. That is a R is equal to 1. This is R is equal to -1. This is R is equal to 0. Okay, I think there's another one in here. Hold on. There it is. Is this on that same page, Miss Dennis?
This is on that. They all look alike. Oh, that's on page. What you're looking at now is on page 176.
176.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look at it. Look at the way this one is, all in line. R is equal to 1.
And the
They start to
previous one,
separate. What, Miss Dennis?
the previous one you showed is on page 174. I'm sorry.
Okay, 174 and 176.
Yeah.
All right. Here, look, 0.9, they're starting to separate. 0.4, they're all over the place. But there's still a positive correlation. This is what you call right here a linear correlation, right here. That's a linear correlation. These are just correlations. This is a negative correlation, -1. This is a linear correlation. This is a correlation. This is a correlation. This is no correlation, because if you was to do a line on the Excel spreadsheet or a line using the calculator, it would say the slope is equal to 0. And this is a nonlinear, which you don't have to worry about this for this unit. So page 174 and 176, I think she said.
Yes.
And that's that question right there. The question that I just gave y'all right there. That is a test question and a standardized test question. Next question. 4.117/7. This is a test question. Write it down. And I'm going to give you a second to write it down, because you're going to see several of these on the test. And I'm going to show you how to do this test question with this homework question. So it says, for the accompanying data, draw a scatter plot, compute R, and determine whether there is a linear correlation, not a correlation, but a linear, that means a straight line, between X and Y. And here is the data set. There's the data set. So write those points down. And this is the critical value. Now I'm going to show you how to do this. How many points do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So n is equal to 5. Our critical value, write this down for the problem. Our critical value, our CV, is equal to 0.878. You count the number of points you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you match it up with these numbers right here, and that is your critical value. Now you're going to use that later in the question. So 0.878, I'm going to write that down. Critical value equals 0.878. And our points are 2, 4, 4, 8, 6, 12, 6, 12, and 7, 19. All right, so I'm going to take my handy dandy calculator and punch those in. Now let me clear everything so y'all will see everything, because we did this last time, I think. I can't remember if we did this or not. We're going to go to Stat, Edit, and punch those numbers in. 2, 4, 6, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 6, 7, and delete. And 4, 8, 12, 12, 19.
You have
4,
a work email.
8, 12, 12, 19. Okay, who's got a question on that? Stat, edit, and punch them in. All right. Now what? Well, let's see what the scatter plot looks like. So we go to second, y is equal. And we want to make sure 1 is on, so we click on 1, enter. And on, make sure it's on, hit enter. It's already, there's a scatter plot right there. It's always defaulted to scatter plot, L1 and L2. Now I'm going to tell y'all a story. I had a student in a class, and I went through this, and I said, make sure it's on there, L1 and L2. And we went through half the class, and the student got aggravated because they couldn't get their calculator to plot right. Well, I couldn't figure it out either because it was doing all kind of weird stuff, and they were showing me the graph, and it was doing all, and I said, go back to stat plot and let me see what you, and this was set to residual. Okay? Please do what I tell you at the beginning. Make sure this says stat plot. Make sure this is L1. Make sure this is L2. And hit graph. Now, you may not be able to see it. So somebody tell me, what do you hit? What did I tell you to hit? Zoom what?
Zoom out.
Well, zoom stat, because that's
stat.
zoom. That means zoom statistical plot.
Okay.
Hit enter. And there they are. Now, you only have 4 points because 2 of them are the same. There's 5 points in the group, but you only see 4 because 2 of them are the same, which I think is a stupid example to do, but anyway. All right, so that's what it looks like. So we're going to see. It goes pretty much increasing slope. So, and this is on below. This is the line right here, and this one is below the line. So I'm going to look for those 2 right there being below the line. So I'm going to go back to the question. Okay, let's go ahead and eliminate some. We know it's not this one. Why? Well, that's a negative slope. And it's not this one, because that's a negative slope. This is a positive slope, and this is a positive slope. Which one has a straight line and then 2 under it? There's a straight line and then 2 under it. This has 3 under it, so that's not it. So B is your answer. Okay, so that's the first part. If you want to use the calculator, I meant the Excel spreadsheet, then you hit send to Excel, and it pulls up. And I'm going to just make it a little bit bigger for y'all. And I'm going to highlight those two columns. Hit insert. Where'd Miss Macagina go? Did she leave?
No, she's still
Mac-
here. I think she
I'm
just turned her
here.
camera off.
Uh-oh, Miss Macagina's mad at me. Uh-oh.
I'm not mad at you.
Uh-oh. I'm going to have to put smokestacks on my truck.
Stop it.
All right.
I'm
What?
here.
Yep. There we go.
I'm just a little distracted right now, so I turned my camera off.
Okay. All right. That's
But
okay.
I'm listening. I'm here.
That's okay. I worry about those that communicate with me. I want to keep them in the class because if they don't, if I don't have the ones that communicate, then all I got's weaned on the pickle students. Add trend line, display, and display. And there is my equation, and that should be in your calculator also. We're going to pull it up. And R is equal to, we've got to take the square root of 0.8891 raised to the 0.5 power. Now your calculator will give you that. So the R value of that line right there is 0.9429. So that's
How'd
pretty
you do
strong.
that again? How'd you do that again?
How do you undo R squared? You take the what?
Take the square root of it.
Take the square root, which is raising it to the 0.5 power. Now, you don't have to do that with your calculator, Miss Dennis. Your calculator will do that automatically. So let's go to the calculator. And all you have to hit is stat, calculate, and go to linear regression. It's already defaulted. You don't have to do anything as long as you keep your numbers in L1 and L2 and hit calculate. And I write this down because it's important. Y is equal to 2.625x minus 2.125, and R is equal to 0.9429278356. And that's important right there because they're going to want that in the question. All right, so let's go back to the homework question. And round to 3 decimal places, R is equal to 0.943. All right, now this is where you need to write this down. Because the correlation coefficient, R, is positive, what is your correlation coefficient? I'm going to write that down for you. That's this number right here. I don't know why they don't call it R. Correlation coefficient. Okay, and it's 0.943 because I raised that to the 3rd power, 0.943. Okay, go back to the question. The correlation coefficient is positive, and the absolute value is 0.943. What is it greater than? Is it greater than our critical value, yes or no?
Yes.
It's greater than the critical value, so you put more than the critical value, 0.878. If it's more than, then a linear relationship, a positive linear relationship exists. Now write that down. I want you to write down, I want you to highlight those words that you're going to have to. This is the way, and this is what everybody should be doing right now. If you suck at this, this is what you should be doing. Because the correlation coefficient is blank, and the absolute value of the correlation coefficient is blank is blank than the critical value of blank linear relation exists. Okay, everybody should have this written on a piece of paper if you have no idea what we're doing. Okay, that's what you should have written. Everybody should have that written down right now. Okay, and I'm going to take my handy dandy highlighters because I'm going to make sure everybody understands where I'm getting everything. So 0.943 is right here. And that is 0.943. Now, the absolute value is always going to be the positive number of that number. So, in this case, it's going to be 0.943 again. Now, if this was negative 0.943, this would be positive 0.943. Remember, what is absolute value?
Positive number, right?
Well, actually, it always is the positive number, but actually, absolute value, I'm going to give you a little review for all of you. This is negative infinity. This is positive infinity. Okay, if I give you -2, and I tell you to locate -2, you're going to go right there. What does the negative tell you? The negative and the positive of a +2 and a -2 tells you what? So D word. Direction.
The distance.
Direction. The positive and the negative always tells you what? Direction. So we're going to take our handy dandy blue highlighter. The positive and negative always tells you direction. Well, if that's true, Hubert, then what does the absolute value tell you? Well, the absolute value of -2 and the absolute value of +2 does anybody know the other word? The other D word? Somebody said it a while ago. The absolute value tells us the what? Starts with a D.
Distance.
Distance. And I'm going to go one up on you. Distance from the number to what?
0.
0. So absolute value tells you the distance. Somebody tell me, when's the last time they saw a positive or a negative distance on a highway sign? Give you $100.
Never?
Never. Why do you never see a positive or a negative sign on a highway sign? Because distance has no sign. Because distance is distance. What's the distance from Anderson to Atlanta? 250 miles, depending on where you're going. 200 plus miles. So if I turn around in Atlanta and I come back to Anderson, then I should see a sign that says -200 miles, right? No. You never see a sign with negative or positive 200 miles because distance can never be what? Never be negative or positive. So absolute value is the distance from that number to 0. So what is the absolute value of negative 2? 2.
2.
What is the absolute value of positive 2? 2.
2.
There is no sign in front of these two numbers because they represent distance. That is what absolute value tells you. So if you didn't have an algebra teacher that told you that, you didn't get your money's worth. The 2D words, distance and direction. Now, let's get back. What is the absolute value of positive 0.943? 0.943. And that is what then the critical value. Let me get my handy dandy. My critical value, since it's critical, we're going to paint it pink or red. Our critical value is point what? 878. So what is 0.943 compared to 0.878?
It's larger.
More than. Now the computer will say more than. Therefore, a positive linear equation exists. Now, if it doesn't, if it's not greater than, then there is no linear correlation. And we'll get to that with one of the homework questions. Now, it's very important that you understand this right here. I'm going to put this in a big red box. And it's important. So when you have a problem, you go back to this video and you go over this, because that is where I'm getting everything. I'm getting everything from when we first started. N is equal to 5 points. That's the chart. And then I plotted my points. And then I went to stat, and I got stat, calculate, linear regression. And it gave me that, and then I put it all in here. All right, so let's go type it in. Oh, we did. All right, now y'all gonna do another one. Let's do this one. And here's your data set. Now, I'm not going to give you the table because do we still have 5 points? Yes. So what's the critical value? Point what?
878.
Exactly. So go ahead and write that down because it's still 5 points. Did they change it? 2, 4, 4, 8. No, they didn't change it. Okay, forget it. I thought they were going to change it. There we go. That one's changed. All right, give y'all a minute to punch that in the calculator. We're supposed to send our homework questions to you. I still can't believe a student would say that.
Gmail.
Yeah, go buy you a Mr. Potato Head and buy about 5 or 6 of them because they're going to be antiques, and buy all the Dr. Seuss. Buy all those books up. And don't forget to pick you up some Gorilla Glue to put in your hair. That's what I'm saying. These people want to start a revolution, and they eat Tide Pods and put Gorilla Glue in their hair. These people can't make a ham sandwich. And there was a story this morning. There was a person on the you ready for this? On the news. I guess I saw this. I had to turn the TV off. The person was petitioning that we need to do away with mathematics because mathematics is racist.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that 2 + 2 is racist now because white kids get the right answer more than black kids do. So 2 + 2 is not supposed to be 4 anymore.
I'm on this train. Math is racist.
Yeah. I figured we'd get some people on there. Oh God. Well, what do you tell the people that what do you tell the Chinese and the Mexican and the black and the Spanish astrophysicists and the NASA engineers and the astronauts that are different colors? I guess they're just special, aren't they? Whatever. Or the doctors. Got plenty of doctors that are different colors. I wonder how. I guess they were special too. No, it's called hard work. I can't say it. What is it called?
No, universe.
Hard work. That's what it's called. Because I didn't know how to add fractions when I graduated Westside High School. So there is nobody out there that can give me an excuse that they can't learn math. No, there's nobody. I couldn't add fractions. 2, 4, 6, 6, 7. I had the orange styrofoam earphones. Y'all remember those earphones that had the plastic white strap with the big foam? And they usually orange and green, and I had orange ones. So nobody can give me that excuse. 4, 8, 11, 13, and 19. All right, so I'm going to take my handy dandy calculator. I'm just going to do it on the calculator because that's what everybody's got. So I'm going to do it on the calculator. Stat, edit, and I don't know if the X's are the same. 2, 4, 6, 6, 7, they are. And go over to the right. 4, 8, 11. I'm glad they changed one of those. 12, 13, and 19. Oops. 13. All right, there they are. So I'm going to hit stat, plot, or go ahead and hit stat, calculate, and go down to linear regression. Now we know our critical value. Look what I do here. Well, go ahead and hit calculate, Hubert. There. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to hit my whiteboard. And I'm going to write down everything. My critical value based on 5 points is 0.878. My equation of my best fit line is y is equal to 2.625x minus 2.125, and my R is equal to 0.935. And these two you're going to compare at the
How'd you
end.
get?
I'm sorry, I heard.
I said, how did you get that? Because why you got 2, 4, 2, 8, 6, 11? I thought it was 2, 4, 4, 8, 6, 11, 6, 13, and 7, 19.
That's what I got.
No, you got 2, 2.
Let me check. Hold on. I may have done something wrong. I was talking, and when I talk, I'm a guy. I can't talk and think it's. You're right. 2 and 4. Thank you, Miss Dennis. 2 and 4. So I got to change that. So I am wrong. So let me change that. Find my calculator. I got to go find my calculator. Hold on. Oh, me. You know why I got that wrong? Because math is racist. That's what it is. Y is equal to our stat edit. And I need to check. Well, darn, I did put a 4 there. So I did check my numbers. Have I got them right in the calculator? Yes or no?
You got that right, but
Okay. Then the numbers in the calculator is correct. Just I had a number written down wrong. I'm going to check it one more time. Linear regression and calculate. So 2.625 and 0.935. Okay, so now let's go to the problem. We didn't stat plot. Let's stat plot right quick so we know what it looks like. So second, y is equal. Click enter. Make sure it's on, enter, and graph. Okay, we're looking for these two right here. Your straight line would be between these two, and you got 3 points under that straight line right there, and one. Then there's 2 together right there. So let's go back and look for those 2 together. Okay, we know it's not that one. We know it's not that one. So either it's alpha
A or
or
B.
Bravo.
I think it's.
I think it's B. It could be C, but they look too close together. But let's go with Bravo. Yep, it's A. You would just have to blow it up. I don't see too much difference. I guess they say these 2 are closer than these 2. These 2 are way down. I don't like the way that's kind of a trick question, but anyway, theirs is A. You'd have to blow it up and look. 0.935. Okay, because the coefficient is positive and the correlation and absolute value is 0.935, it's greater than 0.878, a positive linear correlation exists. That is how you do these problems. All right, let's go to another homework problem. Ah, what a surprise. Tri-County logged me out. I think that was 417. Let's go down. I think Miss Macagina sent one. 4.119/8. Even though I don't like Miss Macagina, I'm going to do hers anyway. All right. For the accompanying data set, I knew she'd come back on. There she is. Draw a scatter diagram on the data, blah, 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 blah. So
I
here's
don't-
your points. All right, y'all do those points right quick.
This is 4.1, right?
Yeah, 4.119.
Yeah, so I did all of the problems on it and got perfect score after last class. So whatever problem I had with that, I think I fixed it.
Okay, so the rest of the class, we just, bump
Sorry.
the rest of the class, right? Yeah, just bump the rest of the class. We're going to do it anyway, Miss McAgee. I always do questions, whether they're sent or whatever, because the question that you send, I guarantee you there's 2 or 3 other people in the class that has that same question. So
Okay.
that's why I go ahead and do it, but that's fine. The rest of the class knows that you don't like them, so that's okay. Lord have mercy. I can't believe somebody would get on national TV and say something like that. You know what I don't understand is how did we raise a generation on South Park and Family Guy and they be so offended? I want
That's
somebody to
that's kind
answer
of true
that.
though. That is kind of true though. I'm now wondering that.
It is. It's 100% true. How did we raise? How long has Family Guy and South Park been on TV?
Oh, forever.
Exactly. And we've raised a bunch of people that are snowflakes. No sense of humor, no personality, and weaned on a pickle, and everything offends them. It blows my mind.
When did Family Guy come out? Like 1999, 2000?
I really don't know. All
I
I
think
know is Lois talked real slow, and they finally sped her up a little bit. I love Family Guy. Family Guy, to me, is one of the funniest shows as far as a sense of humor. It's just hilarious. And they make fun of rednecks. They make fun of everybody. And that's why I like it, because they make fun of everybody. I'm a redneck, so I don't care. I remember when they had the episode where what's the son's name? Oh, God, what's Chris? Fell in love with that girl, and he thought it was a guy, and it wasn't. It was a tomboy. That was hilarious. Okay, nobody's going to say anything. So
It came out in 1999.
yeah, Miss Dennis can tell you that kind of stuff. She looks it up.
Exactly.
Stat, edit. Oops, wait a minute. Stat, edit. All right, what's my numbers? Let's look for my numbers.
2, 6.
Wait a minute, my calculator. I got to make my calculator minimum. There we go. Okay, 26179. 26179. Okay, 82695. 82695. 8675. Shut up. 82695. 82695. Now y'all got to say 80s music. That was best music since the 60s. 8675309. And nothing. You know, y'all need to get with the program. Nobody gonna say a word about that song. That was a classic song.
No, it was a good song.
It was. All right, let's go to stat. Let's go to plot it. Hit graph. You can bypass the going second. You can just hit graph and hit zoom 9. All right, it looks like a big A circle. It's a circle.
You
Pretty
said to
much.
hit
See it?
stat.
Hit graph, and then hit zoom 9. Whoever asked that.
I did, Brenda. I hit stat and I don't see what you're saying.
Well, you don't have to hit stat. You already put your points in, just hit graph.
Great.
And then hit zoom 9. And look at my graph. It should look like my graph. Does it look like my graph?
No. Zoom 9. Hold on. Enter. Oh, no, I'll look at it later. I'll go from scratch. I still don't know. what the
Okay,
hell-
well, I'm going to go ahead and hit stat, calculate, linear regression. How many points do we have? 5? So it's still going to be 0.878. So my critical value, is equal to, at 5 points, is still 0.878. We'll check it here in just a second. My graph, my equation of my linear correlation is equal to negative 0.174x plus 6.870. And R is equal to negative 0.215. And remember, you're going to compare these. And you're going to compare the absolute value. Now, the absolute value of R is equal to the absolute value of negative 0.215, which is 0.215. All right, so now we're going to type everything in. Let's look at the graph again. It looks like a circle. So which one looks like a circle? Well, it's already marked. Bravo looks like a circle. The only one that looks like a circle compared to Bravo is Delta. And then you just have to match up. You have to match it up, make it bigger like here, and match it up with your graph. My R is negative 0.215. Negative 0.215. My absolute value, okay, it is negative. The absolute value is 0.215, which is not greater than 0.878. Therefore, no linear relation exists. If it's not greater than 0.878, then there's none. Now, if you had a negative that was greater, that the absolute value was greater, then you would have a negative correlation. But here we have none. That's it. All right, we're going to have to stop there. But I at least got you to where you can work some of those problems. Let me look at the attendance right quick and shut off the recording.
So should we send in